This week, there's some shit happening on the old TikTok.
Yeah,
so all the Chinese manufacturers are coming out and saying, you see your thing that you spend all that money for, we make your thing. You see your Italian thing, you see your French thing, you see your Louis and your Pradas and your your Hermes and all of those Hermes and all of those things. We make your things. Yeah. So basically, what they're doing on TikTok is they are showing how they make shit in the factory. And then they're saying the only thing that is actually made in the countries that these luxury designers state is the label. Everything else is made in China, as Donald J. Trump will say. And they're basically hollering at people and they're saying, instead of paying £10,000 for a Birkin bag, come over Yasser.
Well, 38.
Sorry, anyway, where am I going with 10,000? That must be like a penny bag. 38 grand for a Birkin bag. Come over here and you can pay what it's actually worth, which is about 1,000. Yeah. Come and buy it from us. The quality is the same. All the leather, all the metals that are, stainless steel, the best stainless steel that you can have in the world. Come and buy it here. And we're talking a bunch of different brands. So Chanel, L'Oreal, Bobbi Brown, because it's makeup too. L'Oreal, Lululemon, I can't never say that. Lululemon, Fila, Tommy Hilfiger,
Which
Lacoste.
Chinese factory supply for Louis Vuitton? Let me tell you the secret. Louis Vuitton has many Chinese suppliers, but they just don't admit it. 50% of Louis Vuitton bags are from these two places. Number 1, Guangdong City. Number 2, Dongguan City. 90% of Louis Vuitton silk is from Wanshili in Hangzhou City. I have a friend who is a manager in the factories of the Louis Vuitton, and he told me the similar quality only needs $50. That's crazy, right? Follow Daniel, help you find the best suppliers.
To name but a few, all of these products are made in China, and the manufacturers have had enough of being called peasants by the Trump's government, and they're saying, fuck you, we will go straight to the people. And it is going wild online. People are like, so all this time I've been paying for my luxury goods and like breaking my ass for these things. You lot have been ripping us off.
Yes, they have.
We knew you were ripping us off, but you were really ripping us off. So who's the enemy? The designers, the idiots that buy them, or Trump?
All of them.
They're all enemies. But I actually do think I have more vim for the people that buy that shit, because you should know. Like, you should know that this is a trap. Like, honestly, you should know that this is just a social construct. It's just a trap. You're literally paying for a place in society to have status. And it's all false because it's made in the same factories. And it's just the truth. I've always known it. When my mum worked in factories, it was like there was never an illusion. Once you know about fabrics, once you know about leather, once you know about where it's made and how they get it, it's like, I can't go into a store. They're pretty stores, lovely. They give you champagne. And honestly, give somebody $5,000 when I know if I even worked a little bit hard on it, I could make it for £200. Nah. And I don't love humans enough to do that. Why do I care? Why do I give a heck what a next man thinks of me and what I'm wearing?
All of that. I think, I understand. I have vim for social construct and the business of it all. So I think I'll go for the designers, and let's not say it's like the fact, even though the Chinese factory worker, the people that are talking from the China side of things, they're talking their talk now, but they're still doing the business. So it's not like they're totally innocent. And we have to talk about their working conditions, that no matter what. So it's cut out the middleman, but also what is that guy doing as well? And there were some TikToks that were saying, well, it's not also true, not all the way true, because when you talk about shipping, gooding and all the kind of stuff that goes into it, you could be spending maybe not as much, but it's not as cheap as they're saying. However, I go in on the business of fashion that knows that they're doing this and allows and makes these products knowing the slave labor that goes into having these products, and then not even giving back or improving the situation where actually that doesn't have to happen, where people don't have to be sleeping on the floor, or you've got kids underage, or people that are too old or infirm and are so scared to take a pee break because they'll get fired and lose their livelihood. That's where it is. Because I think consumers, I'm not going to lie, like I do like some designers. I'm not in the price bracket to buy all the designers that I like. I'm not going to pretend that if I saw something and I could afford it and I liked it, but I'm based on quality. I will not buy something just because it's a name. I will buy it if it's, and I have invested in, like I bought a pair of just off-white trainers. Now that was a luxury when I had a bit of money, had a bit of a bump, and I was like, I'm going to get some trainers, and I wanted to go try and buy as black owned as possible. When I bought them, they were very expensive, more than I've ever paid for trainers in my life, but they last and they're heavy duty, they're well made. I'm like, I can justify that because they will last. I'm not running to buy 10 pairs, but they will last. So if there's quality involved, and I do lean towards black designers, if they're in the high end fashion or whatever, I'll try and get.
But the whole point is that same thing you could buy, and it's just not going to be off-white, and it's going to be exactly the same quality. Now,
I
would
hear
you
that.
buy that for £30?
Yes, if I knew, if I would, if I could get that. It's also access to market, isn't it? It's about the ease of access, because there's a difference between clicking on a site, getting it next day delivery, 1 week delivery, versus possibly having to go through and wait for the shipping and all that stuff. I'm not a fan of how it all works and how long it will take, and doing the research, because I know that, because you always say, look, I'll look for that for you. There's an element of cutting out, which is what we're talking about, the fast fashion of it all.
So I've got a dining table that I bought recently, and it's come from China, and I had to wait for it. I had to wait like maybe 3 months for it to come. But the table that I wanted was a specific design that I wanted and a type of quality that I wanted, and it came from China, and it was worth every penny, and it was worth every penny that I wouldn't have spent if I bought it from like a mainstream company.
Exactly,
And it was also worth the time that it took to come as well. Like, I have no like regrets about going through that process, and it was actually very easy. And this idea that it isn't easy, I know people that buy goods, like they say like they make sportswear and stuff like that, and they ship from China. I know people that have furniture companies and they ship from China. So it's not as difficult as you would think.
I'm talking about like on a day to day, like a
I know,
quick
like
thing,
the
but
next day
but
delivery.
If I
You
could
can't
do
have
like
the next day delivery thing.
plan it
Yeah.
in advance and stuff like that, then it's just it's a re-education. So it is more people like you, Nana, say, actually, this is where, when you used to do Love Yaya, where you used to get kind of stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to shop from you because you get all the good stuff. That's what we need more of, people that, if we're going to try and do that.
And it's just, and what I don't like, what I dislike a lot, is the vast difference from for how much it costs to make the
that's
thing
wild.
to how much they're selling it.
Yeah.
And I understand that there's the whole brand of it and all of that stuff, but they are literally ripping people
Absolutely.
off. A bag that costs $1,000 should not be sold for 40, 50, 60,
Exactly.
100. What is the point of that?
Greed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It is greed.
That is exactly
That is it.
It is greed.
It's greed. It is greed.
It is greed.
Because there's no reason, and that's the thing. So you're paying for a logo. And when it's said that crudely, there are lots of people that are like, no, it's an investment piece. It's like the same way that guy spent 8 million on a banana taped to a wall.
Right.
That's how ludicrous it is.
Yeah.
Like, you can do this yourself. But if you place your self-esteem and your hierarchy on a label, like, I'm more of a human because I'm wearing labels, you've missed it. Jeff Bezos wears the same flipping t-shirt.
That's all they always say. Like, Steve Jobs wore black all day, every day. And it's usually that's kind of like be more like the Indians for black people. But rich people generally don't spend so much or aren't so visible or ostentatious with their wealth.
They don't. I mean,
It's
look,
a bit of a, because a lot of them do.
It's
but
a class of people
yeah.
that occupy that space.
Yeah.
And it is like, who are you showing off to?
Yeah.
That's where I'm always like,
And as much as Kanye's mad now, yeah, as much as he's mad now, caveat, he's got lyrics that talk about the fact that you're gonna go and spend all this money
100.
on something, and my man here, who's the uber rich, he rents his car. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like, especially with like 9 to 5 normal day people working, normal people like us that are obsessed with those things, I think it comes with from a place of lack.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, I don't know, it's like an insecurity, especially in talking with, when it comes to black people. I know black people carry those things, they put it in a very high place. So when I see people who are obsessed with designer and materialism, I think it just comes from a place of lack and
It does.
insecurity.
It does, because that's how society's pitched. We're always we're positioned to look at the haves and have-nots. We're looking at those who have, and your wealth and your worthiness, is based on if you have those type of things, those signifiers that you're rich and you've made it. And it's not even just, it's working class people, because we can, you know, when you look at white communities, I remember when we were growing up, the working class, the chavs as they were called, and they used to be kitted out head to toe in Burberry, they were looked at as classless from the people who actually, the white people that actually had money, and were like, you would never do. And that's amazing. I think even Burberry went for a moment of changing their outlook, because they were like, they're sick and tired of certain people.
I mean,
wearing
Versace, when he was alive, said that he didn't want black people wearing his stuff. Like Dolce and Gabbana have been.
It wasn't Versace.
Was it not Versace?
It was rumored to be Tommy Hilfiger, and he's constantly. He has.
I'm sure Versace said something though. I'm sure there was something. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
I know Dolce and Gabbana.
Dolce and Gabbana have definitely said something. Yeah. But yeah, it's just a lot of these designers don't even want you to wear them. And talking about, when we were talking about Jeff Bezos and them burning goods, designer companies also slash bags, rip off the logos, because they don't want them to be sold for, you know, less than they have represented. It's really bad.
And even down to getting replicas. I don't, because I remember there was a moment when someone in my family was like, you've got to, like, it's a signifier of getting older, as being a mature woman, a young woman, you've got to have a good designer bag. And there was this woman that was selling them, like book ones, but they were good copies. They were good books. But and I remember there was a whole palaver of me getting it, and I was like, it went left anyway, because something about the woman was a bit of a scammer anyway. So it went left, and that moment was like, I don't even care. I was just doing this because I was told, and people in my family were like, you must do this. But I also don't like, I think it's very strange when people are like, I can't afford the real one, so I'm going to get the fake version. Because I think that's a crazy mindset.
But then now, what's the fake version? Now that you know what things really are, what is the fake version?
But my point is, if I'm going to buy, like, I'm going to break my neck because I want to be, like, as you're saying, like to show that I've got wealth, and I can't afford the real Louis, so I'm going to buy a fake Louis, because then people will accept me. That is such a, I feel that's a sad state of being.